How is it going? Everyone, welcome to I Wanna Best the 50 Floors, which already starts pretty strong with a very cool song that they call this trance or something like that. I don't know how it's called, but it doesn't matter. This is made by the same guy that made I Wanna Best the Needle 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I guess eventually he started going for the number floor type of fun game. So this is the first one, the 50 floors. We already know how long the game is gonna be, at least. We know that there are 50 floors. And you can see the number up there. So yeah, it's not gonna be a mystery. Oh, start with drum and bass. This drum and bass? No, it's it's not. No, I think this one is what they call Shangle Beat. Close enough. Seems that the dead sound might be a little bit loud for some reason. I think I could lower it. Oh, the music itself is a little bit loud actually. I could lower it a little bit. Yeah, this guy's strength is definitely not sound balanced, that's for sure. This guy needs a little bit more in terms of sound balance. But it's fine, I don't mind. Sound balance or not. I can do that myself. So no problem. Hey Blue, how is it going? Just here climbing. Well, I don't know if I even can call it a tower, because I mean you have you have already a sky, you know, behind you. So I don't really think we are in a tower, but there are 50 floors. I don't know, hard to tell. I wanna be 50? No. I don't wanna be 50, no. It's about the floors. Being 50 doesn't sound like a very nice thing, to be honest. I will be 50 when I have... Well, I will be 50 when I'm 50 years old, yeah, but I mean, it will be in the year... What year will it be? 2046. The year 2046 I will be 50. Also, how do you do this jump? I don't think you can do a single jump into the vine, so you need to double jump into it, but is a single jump from the vine possible? I mean, not like there is anything else you can do, so it has to be. Trying to jump from the very, very, very tip of the vine, but it's hard. Unless you're telling me, you know, I don't need to go down. It would be funny if you needed to go down for no reason. But that one is gonna be hard. Like, without a double jump, that seems a little bit extreme, I feel. Because you cannot do a single jump, you know, to the vine. You need to already waste your double jump here, so... And obviously you cannot jump to the left. I can't believe the second floor is already challenging me. Blink once and it won't be there, but blink twice and it will. It's a possibility. Wait, oh, I fucked up. You jump from there to that platform on the left. Well, it does seem like the difficulty of this game is a lot higher than... Well, I don't know if a lot higher, but it's supposed to be harder than the other ones. I'm not sure why this vine is filtering me so much. supposed to be a regular champ, right? Or what am I doing wrong? I don't know. Fuck. You also cannot waste your double champ in that other vine. You need to wait until you're close to the left platform. In case you ask why I hate vines, I'm getting filtered by the vines on the second floor. That is quite sad, I gotta say. Very, very sad. Damn it. Is that if it didn't have vines, we should say that it's forget about vines. We got the vines. I wonder if it's because the game is hard like that, or it's simply because I'm bad with vines. Well, the problem is that the vines are not stopping, so we better get prepared for them. Vines. So look, if at least you make sure that the vines are only here, I will be fine with it. Like if you make a use of all the vines at the beginning, that will be great. Now this is another issue with the vines, is that when you get to the top left, you're supposed to hold your champ so you can champ from the vine. But the issue with that is that if you hold your button here, you die to the spike. So I don't know what you want me to do. Oh, you can hold it there. Okay. But I don't know if there is another way to do it. Like if there is a particular movement I'm supposed to do with the vines. The way vines work is that you champ from a vine without wasting your champ if you hold the champ button and press the opposite side of the vine. I don't know if there is another hidden mechanic. Oh, that's water. None of the previous games use water at all. That's interesting. That means I need to save my double champ. And not hard. I mean, the water there is only to stop your movement a little bit. Okay. At least it seems that this area will make use of vines in the majority of the floors. If only vines weren't in the original I wanted. Really lament the fact that that isn't the case. But unfortunately, they had to exist. We'll get a time machine to go back in time and tell Kain to not put vines in the original. Would have been nice. But yeah. It's a little bit too late. Okay. And then choose drop. Okay. Down here. I'm also noticing that the checkpoints seem to handle like seem to be like the previous fan game. I wanna best the needle for, that you only have a checkpoint per, or like 2 checkpoints. The point is that you can only save in the middle of a screen. For now. Maybe there will be more later, but yeah. You know that I'm particularly not a big fan of not having many checkpoints. So having only one per screen is scary. A little bit. But I'm not sure if I want to play the next one after this. The one that has, instead of 50... Oh, they already changed. But the vines are still here. Fuck. Damn it. There was only gonna be a thing on the first zone, but no. The vines are still tormenting me. Wait, is there music? There is music, but you can barely hear it. Moreover, I can barely hear it. Problem is that if I increase the volume, like the sound effects are gonna be extremely loud. Oh. Okay, never mind. The music is kinda there. Like, that's the issue. If the sound effects were more quiet, I will lower it. I mean, I will increase the volume. But that's part of the issue. They are quite loud, especially the death and the shot sound. You know why? Seems like he liked to make them loud here. I could consider it making it more quiet, but making it louder will just jump scare you every time I die, and that doesn't seem nice. I wanna jump scare you, or jump scare myself, really. Okay. Need to work on that sound balance, that's for sure. Need to work it out. So I will take a bad sound balance over vines any time of any day of the week. Well, some people also say any time of the day. Any day of the week. You could say any day of the month too. So I don't think that's a very widespread expression. And you could say every month of the year. You can do a lot of combinations. My point is that I don't like vines. If you can take them out, I will be happy. Which also reminds me that if I make a fun game, I probably will make sure it has no vines at all. I mean, it's not like it's that hard to not use vines. In fact, I'm pretty sure there are many fun games that I played, especially adventure fun games, even some of them being quite long, and I think I remember them not having a single vine. But I wouldn't be able to say names. I'll have to look up my playthroughs for that. This is... No, this is 2 champs, yeah. Nice. I also like the attention to detail that every time you're in a part where you kinda hold a button to move towards the portal, you get stopped from moving on the next screen. So here you spawn here, but not up here. You spawn here. So that way when you hold left, you don't die to anything stupid. Left or right. I'm assuming those are the things that with testing come out. Though I will assume that at some point it becomes normal practice. Like anytime that you appear in a screen, you just make sure that anything surrounding you cannot kill you. Oh, something that I wish that this game had, since it's supposed to be about floors, is that instead of having portals, I wish it had instead like actual floors that you are constantly going up from, well, from and to. Well, in fact, one of the tutorials that I seen, tutorial about making fun games, says that you want to connect one screen with another. It's more recommendable to have an actual connection. Like you exit the screen and you appear in another one at that part of at that direction in the screen. Like if you exit a screen from the right, you appear on the next screen to the left without any portal in between. Even though you're pretty much going through a portal in the engine's logic. But that way you make the player feel like they are moving from one side to the other, like physically. I think that sort of stuff is cool. Obviously for gameplay purposes it's the same as having a portal. In fact, you could say that having a portal is even more beneficial gameplay wise, because you can place it anywhere you want. And if you want to make a tower that you keep climbing up, you can only make the level end on the top side of the screen. So here you get more options. You can also say that it makes the geography of the game feel more artificial and not natural. Obviously here this is a needle game. If it was an adventure game it might have been more important, but being a needle game, I don't think that the geography of the game matters too much. Not really. Oh, that looks nice. Okay, no. It was easier than I thought. Well, in fact, with water like that, if that was a plain jump, it would have been relatively easy too. So a very nerfed plane will be a lot easier. I wonder if at some point I will have the guts to play needle games that require those sort of champs. Probably not. I think that, to me, the appeal of a needle game is that you get to do a lot of champs one after the other. I don't think I really like the idea of getting stuck in a checkpoint for too long in a needle game. Which obviously if you play the hard ones you will. Even the good players get stuck. It doesn't seem like an attractive idea. At least with an adventure fun game, if you get stuck in a checkpoint, it's more like you want to see the rest, right? So the motivation is that you can see the rest of the game. With a needle fun game, you could say the same, but I mean, you already know what you're gonna have. Maybe there might be some gimmicks, and there might be some champs that might take you by surprise or something, but a needle game, you already know what to expect. On an adventure game, you could expect anything. So having a long checkpoint, even though obviously sometimes it can be annoying, it's mostly about the reward of knowing what comes afterwards. Or in case it's like the final boss or whatever, the reward of finally beating it, right? I think it's more like that. That's... So, once I get to that top vine, I cannot do a second take. I need to jump into the portal on the first try. Or maybe not, never mind. That's funny. I thought for sure that I wouldn't be able to do a second take, but I did. So, for what I understand, if we're following this pattern consistently, every 5 screens there is a new area. Is that true? I mean, in particular, I would like an area with louder music. But louder and also catchier music. The first one was cool, I think. Okay. Can you imagine that I become a needle streamer? Doesn't seem like a very good idea. I can't believe that happened. That's the first time that happens, but it was my fault for getting distracted. I got distracted on my own. Not like that checkpoint is that hard. Damn, but it feels here like the distance is longer than it is. Okay, we're in a very green stage. Let me check the sound. The sound is fine. At least this song is more catchy and obviously louder. That's cool by me. That also means that I need to lower a little bit here. It seems that for the most part we're gonna be looking at, we're gonna be listening to electronic music. Now, here you have vines, as you can see, but these vines are the same color as the platform. They are green. Nice. It seems pretty clear that the creator likes neon lights. I mean, neon lights look cool. I cannot say they don't. But yeah, it's... sometimes when they are this dark, like when you have a heavy contrast between something that is dark and something that is bright, it's a little bit hard to look at it, I gotta say. I mean, I gotta be thankful that my monitor is set at like one of the lowest brightness you can use, but it's still hard to look at. It's not very easy. It's fine. Well, as long as floor... oof, that was close. That was not close. As long as floor 16 is not a flashbang, I'm fine. Because if the next area is a very bright background, it will be like a flashbang. Hopefully not. You can just prepare your eyes at the end of floor 15. Floor 15 is about to end, and just cover your eyes for a while. It's like when you're in a dark room, someone turns on the lights. It's pretty much like getting flashbang. Same here. You just need to cover your eyes until the transition is done. Wow. I jump over this jump refresher and under the spike. I feel like that's harder than either getting killed by the spike or hitting the jump refresher. Like, what are the odds of that? I was wondering where to go, and then I saw the vine. Like, I feel like I would have made the vines a different color here, so they are not the same color as the blocks, because they can be a little bit hard to spot. I mean, once you spot them, that's it. You just need to spot them once, and then it's a matter of going to that block. Not like this moves, these blocks move. Actually, I wonder how that will be. I do in a needle game similar to this one, but you have a lot of moving blocks. And by moving blocks, I mean blocks that mostly mean like from one side to the other, but not in a long area. Like blocks that just move in a more limited area. Wonder how that will look. Well, no, how that will look, I know. I wonder how that will play like. I think the issue with an idea like that is that you will need to make the synchronization between the blocks not be painful. I mean, I wouldn't make a block that moves from one side of the screen to the other. You still don't want to make the player wait in a game like this. I mean, I think that a whole appeal of the Needle fan games is that you can do them at your pace, kinda. You can just do them as fast as you want, and as slow as you want. That 14 is in the middle of the way. At least it's behind me and not in front of me. Well done. But here I think that, for example, those platforms here that you use to refresh your champ, I will make them green also, because they feel a little bit out of place there. Like everything is green, even the vines. I mean, I will also change the vines to be something that isn't green. Or maybe they can be green, but they need to glow, just like the spikes do. Wonder how you make that effect. Like the spikes here have an outer coat that kind of gives it that glow effect. In Game Maker, usually you make spikes have the same hitbox as the sprite. But here, if the sprite includes the glow, you wouldn't be able to. Well, unless you manually specify the mask of the hitbox. I don't know, those are kind of things that I need to learn. I've been looking at Game Maker, but not that much. I will assume they are part of the sprite. But like they manually edit the hitbox to, you know. Could make the hitbox a bit tinier than the sprite to give your players a morale boost. I wonder if any fan game has done that. Like the sprite is the same, but you make the hitbox smaller. That would be funny. Just make them believe they are good. I will 100% do that. Actually, I know another thing that you will do, Blue, when you make a fan game. You know that I think in a lot of engines, including the ones that we plan to use, we have a debug mode that you can activate by pressing a key. And that debug mode, unless you change the option so the executable doesn't have it, you basically will have the players that play the game be able to activate the debug mode at any time. So something tells me that you wouldn't have any intention of taking it off. You will just ship the executable with debug mode on. Well, when I say debug mode on, I mean the option of debug, because it's not like you open the game and you're already in debug mode. So you open the game and you can press a key to make that debug mode appear. And this checkpoint looks hard. I'm 100% leaving it there then. Just barely smaller so your toe doesn't kill you. Well, I think it depends because the kid doesn't really have the hitbox of his whole sprite, for example. Like the sprite of the kid is actually bigger than his hitbox. Ah, damn, I need to jump higher. And then it's a double jump into the vine, then you land there, and then double jump and another double jump. Okay. To balance it out, I'm going to use auto fire to beat all the bosses. Well, auto fire is actually... Now, here's the thing. Some fun game makers, instead of auto fire, what they do so you don't have to break your fingers or the keyboard is giving the boss iframes. So that way, if you give the boss iframes after getting hit, I mean after the boss gets hit, you don't need to spam, because regardless of how much you spam, the boss is still not gonna receive damage. So yeah, that's what they do. Usually you hit the boss, visually they blink to indicate they are in iframes, and it usually lasts for a little bit less than a second. That's basically the strat. Oh, and we're suddenly on a forest with very simple looking spikes. In fact, these spikes are literally like white field. There is not even an effect. As you can say that the standard I wanna be the guy spikes are white, but they have layers of gray to make it have a little bit of perspective. These ones don't. They are just plain white. I hope the engine already programmed that. I don't know how far they went with bosses, but for what I understand, bosses are hard to do. Well, in any kind of engine, but in fun games it's not an exception. If you look that I'm checking out my other monitor every time that I switch the zone, is because I'm checking the sound. Like, I really need to check the sound just to make sure that it's not too loud. You never know when it can be too loud, you know? That's the issue. It can always be quite loud. Unfortunately, it seems that I will have to deal with binds for the entirety of this game. Look, Blue, if you make a fun game, don't make binds. Don't put binds in your fun game. Seems like it's for the best. Make binds, got it, yeah, of course. Yes, put binds. This music is way forward. I have no clue. It could be, but I don't know. Are you saying that it's from a Shantae game? Or what? I personally don't recognize it just like that. Mighty Switch Force? Wait, there's also that game. I think I saw that game on Steam, but Never really bothered buying it. I don't know if I should. You bought it just for the music? God damn it. It's like the best thing that you like about games are not the games. God damn it. Unbelievable. Yeah. That game, yeah, the music is pretty fine, indeed. Oh, the gameplay, what's that? Unbelievable. I wonder if you will still be playing Genshin if it wasn't for Noel. I wonder. Hard to tell. Why am I failing that champ so much? It's not that hard. Maybe. Reactions are super fun and neuron activating. Yeah, I guess that's something that MiHoYo did pretty well. Making the main gameplay mechanics just have a lot of shiny shit on screen. That's especially useful to attract young players. You just have a lot of shit on your screen. Bright colors and also big numbers. Very dangerous combination. Making them used to the jackpots. That's fucked up. The biggest regret is I didn't take advantage of them when I played that week in 2020. Oh, because you didn't unlock Kaeya. Jiggle the keys. And I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I insisted, you wouldn't have played it either. But maybe you will have eventually played it, so I don't know. Quite crazy. A very small. Oh, you need the double jump. Fuck. The very small twists of fate. That you did because I would have missed so much stuff. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Miku. Oh, with Miku you mean Farusan. Yeah, that's right. That was your main motivation. And then you just ditched her. Yeah, that is correct. Miss Faru. Interesting character. Oh, I didn't see that platform up there. Yeah, I did see that spike though. She dodged you? Yeah. Good excuse. See one Goro. What's your current constellation, by the way? For Goro, I mean. Are you realizing that every single time I'm encountering a vine, I take like 10 minutes to hit a checkpoint, right? Like that. My main issue are vines, because they are shit. C2. You have C4 Farusa? Really? Tomorrow and can already an emo DPS. Indeed. Correct. Jesus, finally. There is one more vine though before the portal. We'll pull for Raiden spawn. I wouldn't recommend it. No, what you should do is the next time I stream Genshin, check how Noel does with Sisit's Goro and what's the name? And Chiori. That's what you need to do. Do I need to do what I think I need to do? I think I need to. Fuck. Okay, I can do it, it's just annoying, but you're supposed to use the vine to go up again. Would be nice if in Delicious Fruit there was a tag that say that the fan game uses vines. They can just avoid all the vine fan games. My wife's name? What? I don't even like Chiori, bro. What are you talking about? I don't like her. As a character, I mean. Gameplay-wise, she does well. Oof, that was close. Jump up there. Nice. But the sky is so pretty. Bro, for that type of thing I already have a Navia. I don't need to look at the sky with any other character. You know? Wait. What's this, Sean? I really need to go in between those two spikes? Yes, I do. Bloomers? Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Just use your imagination. Need to exercise that imagination once in a while. You know? here I cannot complain about vines. You are challenging me then. Also, how is it going, Lilo-san? Good night. Versus here doing even more needle. Just like I've been doing the past 2 days. You believe it that I'm turning into a needle streamer? No, that's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it. It ain't gonna happen at all. Don't you worry. I continue my needle plays. Indeed. I don't know if I'm gonna play the game that comes after this one. It doesn't seem like the smartest idea. Because that one apparently is quite hard. I mean, it's not like these are a walk in the park. Hey, don't criticize this drawing, come on. Stop criticizing it. It was made with love. The intention is what matters. I know. A gift like that has its value in the intention behind it. That's what matters. I could make a... I could, instead of having that drawing there, I could make an AI prompt of myself. But that wouldn't have any value. You know? That's the thing. No soul. Chat of someone who has never had a drawing of their face as a gift before? True. Correct and factual. Well, I mean, the thing about making it an AI drawing is that we'll just doing it myself will have no emotional value. It will have aesthetic value. Yeah. I mean, so far I have somehow 3 drawings of myself, and I use them all in my channel. I use the logo, the logo of the channel is one of them. Then you have that one that I have above me, which is a different one. Then I have one that is in the Twitch background, I think, when you go to the video section or whatever. And that one was made by Kael. It's quite funny. But yeah, all of them, I use them. But I also have it below, I think, in the description. In the Twitch description. Yeah, no, I don't think I would like that, Yannick. I don't think that would be a good idea. Oh. So, since you mentioned that, I wonder what will happen if instead of prompting that to the AI, I prompted draw me as a white guy. Wonder what it will do. Maybe it will change my hair color to blonde and my eyes to light blue. I don't know. Or maybe it's hard to tell. Yeah. That's why, well, it's something that I read a lot of times. And I agree mostly that race is a completely outdated term. At that point, if you want to identify someone, might as well just use the nationality, which is something that you can prove. Well, you can prove if you have the documents, you cannot prove by looking at them. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can just talk about the colors of whatever characteristic you have, like the hair, the skin color, the eyes, that sort of stuff. Did I mistake you for Yannick? Did I say Yannick? Did I? I don't remember now. Did I call you Yannick? Huh. Well, that's weird. Well, if I call you Yannick, I didn't mean to. Alright, well, sorry. I meant to say blue, I guess. Because, yeah, Yannick is not here. Let me open on a different tab. I mean, I might have said it. Sometimes I don't think too deeply of what I'm saying. VOD started playing. No, it is possible that I confused it. It happens. What's my eye color? My eye color is brown. I am brown color. Basically the most common type of eye color. And it's not a color that can be mistaken by any other color. No, it's distinctly brown. 100% brown. I mean, it's the typical combination. Brown hair and brown color, a brown eye color. I guess my hair here looks more black, but it's supposed to be brown. And brown is the most pretty eye color. Thanks. I disagree though, but yeah. I appreciate. On camera about your highs and highs. My highs. My hair and eyes look black. Yeah. I mean, it's Well, first of all, the camera. This camera is not very good at many things. But even if it was, with the very small resolution, I don't think you will be able to tell. Just quite hard. Because I look very small. So I'm still glad that this camera is still working. I mean, I don't see any reason not to. You know that sometimes there are some peripherals that decide to stop working because they feel like it. This camera, I bought it 5 years ago, which is not much. I mean, they have hardware components that have lasted for more than 10 years, and they are still going. Wow, really? But yeah, basically, it's a matter of, I guess, taking care of them. So it's not like I take care of them that well. I'm pretty sure the lens of the camera is very dusty. Really put in the work. The camera, I mean, considering that I use it every day, it indeed works very well. This music is called Bubble Bath Aftermath by Bird. Okay. It sounds cool. I like it. Very cheeky beat, I will say. Hey Kyle, how is it going? Bird made the Shantae and Might Force music. Nice. I think that the most iconic track from Shantae is Burning Town. Very cool, but you've been stuck in this song for too long. I mean, if it serves you as consolation, this is the last screen of this song. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that means I can change it quickly. Damn, you get quite triggered by hearing repeating music, huh? It doesn't bother me at all. Seems that it particularly bothers you. Well, I mean, it bothers me if the music is too distracting, I guess. But this one is not. I really love Needle. Not really. But I just wanted to play this. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Mermaid Factory. Counterfeit Mermaids is my favorite Shantae song. Yeah, I think that my issue is that I don't really remember Shantae music at all. And the only reason why I remember Burning Town is for a very specific reason. I will have to tell you later. But yeah. Trying to cut down on complaining. It's fine. No, it's not minus. No, it's not that guy. No, you need to tag me later on Discord. I'll show you what's the reason. mean, you might even like it. Well, maybe except for the ending. You might not like the ending. But yeah. It's okay. It's fine. It's nothing super out of the ordinary. Just that it has a peculiar ending. Everything else is normal. Even that ending is whatever. Okay, see, I changed the zone. Do you like it? Have a different song now. And how is it going, Big Malone? Thanks for the raid. And Lord Master Nosha, how is it going? Thanks for the follow. Wait, who was called the Lord Master? There was a character called the Lord Master something. From what game it was? Wish I could remember. Right? Who pays for all these spikes? Game Maker pays for all these spikes. Lots of stuff has Lore Master. Yeah, I guess it might be right. And thanks for the follow, First World DF. Ermite's Scorching Lore Master. No, not that one. I wasn't thinking of that one. No, not the... No, not Tetris either. Hey, how is it going? You are mad bad 2 coin clear in a game? In which game? What game did you 2 coin clear? Two whole credits? All of them? All 2 of those credits? Dungeon Azurago Shadow over Mistara using the fighter. You can 1 coin clear as cleric. Why don't you use the thief? Isn't the thief supposed to be easy? Like, cannot you just spam like oil and that sword attack with the thief? At least I remember looking at a Korean player doing it. He just used the thief, he spammed the slide. It's the worst character, really? Okay, didn't know that. Well, then again, the player I'm talking about is very good, so... It's probably the type of player that makes everything look good, you know? Family could live on that in some places. I guess that could be right. The Korean will make a... I should have known what the comment was before I read the end. Hey, come on, he's good because he's good. Simply because he knows. You like being the guy? Thanks. Well, technically here we don't want to be the guy. Technically here we want to best the 50 floors. But yeah, close enough. Is the worst character with the worst morals? Yeah, it's okay, bro. She just steals the rich. Don't worry about it. She's like Robin Hood, but more medieval. I do 4-player runs with the Koreans now. They are really good at the game. It's good because he likes it and plays the crap out of it. Yeah, of course. Now, just to make sure we're talking about the same Korean players, are you talking about Punko and Sitsi Shift? Or are you talking about some other Korean players? Those are the two that that I used to watch. I say I used to watch because they are not on Twitch anymore. Because, you know, Twitch Korea and all that shit. The guy stole all the spikes. Well, someone stealing the spikes here will be useful for me. How do I do that without full shamping? I think I need to full champ. The full champ looks fucked up. And yet again I'm being fucked by vines. Unexpectedly. I don't know their Twitch names. Oh, he's still on Twitch. Well, in that case it's not the one I mean. It's a different one. I'm not sure what to do here. Maybe I'm not supposed to full champ, but I don't think I can do that with a full champ. Unless... Oh, really? You're supposed to champ in between the two top spikes. That's fucked up. Shit, man, that's... I hate vines so much. I really hate vines. Tishay Dix, that's an interesting name. I enjoyed Tishay Dix screaming. I gotta say, starting the sentence with I enjoyed Tishay Dix is pretty interesting. Maybe it means something else in Korean. I don't know. Is Funny a very skilled gamer? What I know is that for watching Korean streamers, that ande means no. If you hear someone screaming ande, it's because they are lamenting something. They are saying no. I think that's the only Korean word I know. You know? I also think there is a word that is Shibal, but I don't know what it means. I think it's an insult, but I don't know if it's pronounced like that. I think those are the only Korean words I know. Instead of somebody scream, he uses this. You think so? I don't know how to pronounce that, Blue. Annyeonghaseyo. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I don't even know what it means. Hey, if I insulted someone in Korean, I apologize. But I will blame Blue for that. Oh, that means hello? Shit. That's a very long way of saying hello. Forbidden slurs in Korean? I hope not. You know one phrase in Korean but don't know how to spell it? Well, I think that the romanization of Korean is relatively, well, maybe not that similar, but some things are similar to the Japanese romanization. But I don't know. The thing is that this type of romanizations it really helps if you know Spanish. Really? Because if you read these romanizations in Spanish, they just sound the way they should sound. Well, except for the H. Stolen Romashi. I don't know exactly. No, pretty sure the romanization you can have it also in Slavic languages, for example. It's something that just means writing it in the Roman script. But yeah, a lot of language have them. Yeah, romanization. I mean, the Japanese call it romashi, but if I'm not mistaken, that just means Roman letter. I mean, I'm pretty sure that shi in there is the same as in kanji. And I'm pretty sure the kan there just means Chinese. So yeah, it's just romanization. At least the good thing about Korean is that it's a language that, for what I understand, the writing system is very good. As in, it's easy to learn. Nihonshi. I don't think that's a word. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. It's either Nihonshin or Nihonshi with a different romanization. I don't know. My advice is don't try to learn Japanese. It's a very annoying language. It really is. And you know what? I feel like Street Fighter V lives rent-free in my head the same way that VTubers live rent-free in Kyle's head. Like, notice how nobody mentioned VTubers. I wasn't even thinking about VTubers. And the guy just brings Nishi-Sanshi or whatever the fuck it's called out of nowhere, unprovoked. Absolutely rent-free. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't like teasing people too much, but it's like you are asking for it. It was a misinput. It might be. God damn it. But yeah, it's the thing. To be a hater of something, you have to care about it. That's the reason why I hate Street Fighter V so much, because I care about it. If I didn't care about Street Fighter, I wouldn't even have it on my radar. But yeah, because I care, is that I hate it. So that's the thing. you need to care about something to hate it. I mean, it's what they say, that love and hate are two sides of the same coin. They need the same amount of infatuation, just that on a different direction. They both require infatuation. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure that you care about Huachiturro. I mean, I'm pretty sure they haven't been relevant in 10 years, 15 years. No, 15 will be too much probably. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they haven't been relevant in 10 years, bro. To the point that I'm pretty sure half of them are in jail. I'm sure they are not a band anymore, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure that half of them are in jail. So yeah. What I'm trying to say is that that's something that it's been a while since I heard about. Well, I mean, as I say, the last thing I heard about is that they are in jail. Which, I mean, it is to be expected. Fake ass crimes? What you mean fake crimes? I'm pretty sure they were pretty real crimes. I'm pretty sure they weren't fake. I mean, dude. You know that people that make that music here are people that barely have any education, right? There are very few examples, but most people that make that sort of shit are people with no education at all. The fact that half of those guys is in jail is not surprising in the slightest. If anything, it's what you will more or less expect. But yeah. Did I tell you that I hate vines? Since we're talking about hatred, did you know I hate vines? I do. I really fucking hate vines. I can tell you that. Why do you have to focus on vines, dude? You know that there are some things from the original I Wanna Be the Guy that some people don't bring back. I think a very good example are secrets. The original I Wanna Be the Guy had, well, basically pointless secrets. There are some games, the fan games, that have secrets, but for the most part, I will say that most of them don't. So that's cool, because I hate secrets, and thankfully most of them don't have it. But unfortunately they couldn't do the same thing with vines. You know how nice it would be that vines were something rare that only, like, I don't know, that only 1 in 1,000 fan games had? It will be so cool. But unfortunately it's not the case. Here we have to suffer the menace of vines. just have binds. They don't want to... Yeah. Not to mention that here you can count 7 binds. Only in this screen. You don't need to go to any other screen. In this screen, you already have 7. Well, if they were 6, I don't think it will change much. This me not like it. That's what I can tell you. I don't like this at all. But yeah, it happens. I mean, I expected that there wouldn't be that big of a deal, considering that in the previous games they weren't a big deal, but goddamn. So many fucking binds. It's okay, forget about binds. Oh, that reminds me, remember that Vine... Wasn't Vine a web page where people uploaded short videos? And eventually that shit closed? And now it basically got replaced by TikTok. That's pretty funny, I gotta say. In a morbid way. But yeah. I mean, I wasn't a fan of that when it came out. In fact, I remember back then I remember watching a YouTuber. I mean, just the typical Let's Player. And I remember at some point when Vine released, he started like to test it out. He started doing Vines. And I didn't understand the concept. Like, what's the point of having like a 10-second video? I mean, now I understand the idea, but I still think it's shit. I guess some things don't change. This looks nasty. Nice, that was so close. Holy shit. The Vine menace is not over yet. Not even on this screen. It's still going. It's still out there lurking in the shadows. I was out to say something and I forgot about it. It's a bad feeling. But I can say something else. Hey, remember Blue when you told me that that I'm getting underpaid and that I should talk to human resources? Remember that? Anyone could be a TikTok user? No, I definitely wouldn't. That's for sure. Hey, remember that, Blue? Well, the thing is that yesterday I had that talk, basically with the argument that, you know, I was pretty much being the actual leader of the project instead of the guy that is supposed to be the leader. I say that. I mean, I still think that. But the funny thing is that today I was supposed to have a meeting with the client that I miss. So yeah, very good argument. I guess I will have amazing argument. And the actual leader obviously was in the meeting. I didn't miss it on purpose. I didn't know it was there. And my leader didn't really remind me. So I just missed it. But yeah, that's pretty funny. One day I complain about doing too much and the other day I miss a meeting. It's some very twisted twist of fate. But yeah, I'm sure my argument now is gonna have a lot of weight. It was promoted to customer. I mean, working directly for the customer will solve a lot of issues, actually. But yeah, wouldn't be possible. I miss meetings all the time. No, but I mean, the issue is that, you know, in previous meetings, I had my team leader not only remind me, but also send me a link to the meeting. And this time that didn't happen. Obviously, I cannot blame him because it's my responsibility to remember that. It's not that I didn't remember that I have a meeting. That's the thing. I knew that. I knew that I had a meeting today. It's just that I had the hour wrong. I thought it was 13:30. Sorry, no, the opposite. That it was 14:30, and in reality it was 13:30. So by the time that I was getting ready to get the meeting, it was already over. So yeah, pretty good, amazing. And that's also the time I eat. I don't even know if I would have been able to be there anyways. Do you use Zoom or Teams? No, Teams. Microsoft Teams. That's what we use. But then again, meetings are not something that is very common either. It's not like we have a meeting every week. We have a meeting every 2 meetings a year, pretty much. That's the frequency of our meetings. So it's not something normal. I'm not used to it. Yeah. But then again, it's also not important. That's another thing. Because as long as the actual team leader is there, he eventually will tell me what to do. Well, not even. I already know what to do. Like, the client already sent a document with what they want. They just wanted the meeting to consult it. So yeah. That's the thing. But yeah, I feel that my argument about doing more than I should is losing weight with what happened today. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. Kind of a blunder, if you ask me. What you mean, really? I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be mentioned or not. But I mean, if one day I tell you, one day I tell human resources, I am essentially the team leader, right? I tell them that because I do pretty much everything a team leader does, except with no team. I'm a one-man team, right? And then the other day I missed one of the most important things that a team leader does, which is meetings. Amazing. But it's funny, that's the thing. It's something comedic. It's like, I don't know. You say that, yeah, I'm very punctual. and like you say that one day and then the next day you don't wake up on time. It's a very trashy kind of comedy. A trashy comedy, if you like. You miss because you were working. No, that's the thing. I mean, aside from missing from bad memory, you could theoretically say that I missed because it was my eating hour. Obviously, that's something that I should have arranged beforehand because we already knew the time of the meeting beforehand. But yeah. That is some timing though. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's very good timing. It's like those 4 comma manga that basically have like a couple of things and then the shock at the end. And everything happens quickly for the comedic timing. Well, this is like that. A 4 comma of responsibility. God damn it. Yeah, but it's okay. I mean, I don't really care that much. It's just that I always, you know, I'm always proud of how responsible I am. And then I make a blunder like that. It's just quite funny. Anyways, it's fine. Whatever. What can you do? I mean, as you say, we are only human. That is correct. But I think that the reason why I got it confused in the first place is because the day before that I had the meeting with human resources was at 14:30. So that's probably what meets me up. Like I was thinking of that, and no, it wasn't the same hour. It was another hour. But yeah, what can you do? It happens. It's funny, and that's the end of that. But yeah, that's the thing. I usually don't have too many funny things to talk about my show, well, aside from the client being dumb, I guess. Which there's always quite a lot of examples of that. But like, aside from that, usually I don't have much to tell because usually everything goes according to plan. I don't have many things that are an outlier, right? But things like this are an outlier. Or like that other thing that I mentioned sometime before, that the client was trying to open a compressed file as a test file. Those type of things are outliers because they are so stupid that they don't happen often. But yeah, still funny though. It's better to just laugh about it. I mean, it's not like this blunder is gonna cost me my show or whatever. But yeah, no problem. We'll be fine. So, this is supposed to be the halfway point of the game. And even if it's just the halfway point, the difficulty is quite elevated. I feel that the difficulty of this game is quite underestimated in Delicious Fruit. This game is a lot harder than any of the previous ones, and yet it pretty much has the same difficulty rating. So unless somehow every single one of the net's areas is easier, which will obviously be stupid, yeah, this is just way harder. Not a little bit harder, definitely way harder. I feel that if I don't beat this today, I don't want to do it tomorrow either. I do not. But yeah, maybe some other day. I don't know how to do this jump though. You cannot do a full jump here because you're gonna hit that. If you don't do a full jump, you need to reach this part, this very edge of this platform. You not only have to have the distance to be there, but also the altitude. So with these spikes here, that's very hard to do. Like, I feel like there should be a checkpoint here. Like, there is no reason to not have a checkpoint here. Because this type of jumps are completely unrelated to these jumps. Like, they are two different checkpoints, essentially. So yeah, I don't know why they are not. You can see that it starts hard. Like, those jumps there are not easy to do. But already the first jump is not that easy to do. Like this one, it's not super free. Then this one is just hard. But I gotta say I disagree with this checkpoint placement. I just disagree. It is what it is. Today I really couldn't bring myself to play. You know that I say yesterday that I plan to play the Sonic Genesis trilogy, but yeah, I just cannot bring myself to do so. Mostly because of the first game. The first game, Sonic 1 was a mistake. Nice. Jesus Christ. Okay, we got to a new area, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna be easier. It will be the opposite of easy. Okay. I mean, we already start with quite a messed up jump right here. Very messed up jump. This I like the contrast between the background and the blocks and the spikes. It looks cool. You can already see that the first jump is already super precise. So yeah, this is some unexpected difficulty. The thing is that we are not even close to the end of the game, you know. So It is very messed up. I guess he wanted to keep the difficulty going. Well, not to mention that if you are a fun game developer, the more time passes, probably the more fun games you play, and the better that you yourself get at fun games. I think I need to go there with a single champ. But I personally think that these screens all lack a checkpoint. Like, it seems that the creator kinda wants to force having only one checkpoint per screen, but I think that for a lot of these screens it just doesn't work, in my opinion. But that's because I'm comparing it with the previous games. The previous games usually had a checkpoint in between them, and towards the end of the game the difficulty was a little bit elevated. But yeah. I wouldn't say that at this level, this type of elevated difficulty. The other day I also saw that the Doom games on Steam, when they are on sale, they are quite cheap. Though something weird is that the spring sale that just happened, I mean, it ended already, but the thing is that it ended when spring started. Like, that's the weird part. Like, I think it ended on like the 22nd. Well, no, you don't say 22nd. You say 20. Wait, no, you do say 22nd, right? I think you do. Well, regardless, the point is that it happened, it ended I think on March 22, so it's weird to me that you will end a spring sale essentially when spring starts. So unfortunately I didn't catch them. Yeah, I guess I'll get them next time. Basically the bundle, well, there is a bundle that includes Doom 1, 2, 3 and Doom 64. And I never played any of those games. I mean, not like they are my type of games either, but I feel like those are one of those games that I do need to play at least once. You know? It's something that has to happen eventually. So because of that, I need to play them. So I mean, at the end of the day, even if I'm not a fan of first-person shooters, it's still a game that it's like it's a pure game. It's you start shooting, and then you keep shooting, and then you never stop shooting, you know? So yeah, I think that On principle, I might like it. But yeah, just not a fan of shooters in general. These two champs, I could do that. And now what? Wait, what? Is that a line specific? No, right? I think I'm just supposed to do a very small champ into a double champ, but with this shit here, it seems super hard to do. I'm not even sure if it's possible. But if I want to fall without hitting the spike and double jump above the spike, I will need to get the right align. And I don't think this game will be align specific, right? I don't think a game like this will have a line specific chance, right? Want to believe it won't. Yeah, it seems that it will be an issue. I do wonder how far I can get today to this thing. Not looking very promising though. Though, you know that we can do this more interesting actually. I have an idea. You see, the thing is that I feel like I need to force myself to do that this sort of stuff, but like my idea here will be like if I get to Ed's floor, like next stream I will play something in particular. But I feel like if otherwise I don't see next stream I will play this, I just will end up not playing it because I just find it hard to decide. So something that I would probably like to bet, since, you know, since I'm doubting it so much, that tomorrow I will play Sonic, for example, if I reach Ed's floor, or if I don't reach Ed's floor. Because if I don't do that type of thing, I cannot decide myself to do it. But if I say I will do it, my sense of keeping my word will force me to play it, you know? The final floor equals Edge. I mean, we know that the final floor is 50. That part is sure. That part has no doubt. Well, I mean, he could have trolled you and call, I wanna best the 50 floors and only have, like, I don't know, only have 30. But I don't think that's the case. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But the thing is that I will force myself to... Well, I shouldn't really call force myself. Just give me a little push to play something in particular. Now the question is which floor I could use. I think 35 might be a good one. I mean, it's sad to say that today I will only be able to get to floor 35, but I kinda doubt that I could go any further than that today. The difficulty of these floors is way too elevated. I really don't know how Delicious Fruit didn't catch this. Like how the difficulty of this game is almost the same as the second of the previous ones, when it's clearly way harder. And it's not about the amount of reviews either, because they have very similar amount of reviews. I don't know why I got clickbaited like that. Clickbaited. I got baited. Bamboozled. Basically. I guess we can use the floor 35 bed. Seems that it will be a good number to make the bed. Now the question is which will be the options to make the bed. What options will there be? I wonder. It could be something like, as I say, it could be Sonic, yes. But what other thing? It could also be Castlevania, which is another game I was planning to play, but I just don't know. I'm a little bit out of ideas. I guess I could bet between those two. Like basically, if I get 35 or less, I do one, and if I do 30, well, more than 35, I do another one. So in this case, I don't think that's the type of thing I will do, because I don't really care about which one it is. I don't mind playing either. Because basically, Sonic 1 and Castlevania 3, in terms of difficulty, well, in Sonic 1 case, I mean getting all the Chaos Emeralds, the difficulty is not that different. And the amount of time that it will take, it's also not that different, so that's the thing. I personally don't really mind one or the other. So I feel like I should bet something better. But I don't like bets, that's also another thing. I wouldn't want to bet to play a game I don't want to play. So that's also no good. Gamba. I already told you that Gamba here means leg. Why are you obsessed with legs? Unbelievable. We're 100% obsessed, of course. Hey Yannick, how is it going? You're also obsessed with leg. Hey, that's what it means here. It's a ghetto term for leg in here. Hey, I was saying, Yannick, that depending on at which room I am at the end of the stream, that I could play one thing or another tomorrow. And that way, tomorrow I won't need to think of what to stream, because I will force myself to stream it no matter what. You know, that sort of stuff. And the two ideas that I had were One of them were Sonic 1 and the other one was Castlevania 3, but I don't know if those are the right choices, but I think they are. A certified street thug? Not really. When I say a ghetto speech, well, maybe I should clarify. Basically, the type of ghetto speech that I'm referring to is the ghetto speech from like 200 years ago. It was ghetto back then, and basically today it became the standard. Well, not really a standard, but the point is that you use it on regular informal speech. No, actual ghetto speech today is more brain dead. It was basically a type of speech where most of it came from Italian immigrants. And a lot of words are either full Italian or half Italian. And yeah, Gamba, I'm not sure exactly where it comes from. Just because of the way it sounds, I will bet that it is also from Italy, but it's hard to tell. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But yeah, what I do know is that it's an informal word. And it's ghetto song yeah. A word, not song. Oof. That checkpoint took me so fucking long, dude. Unbelievable. Nice. Damn it. But it wouldn't have been over after that, actually. The last champ looks very hard. Gamba here is currency. Well, here you can use it to refer to a unit of currency. Like, aside from leg, I think you can use it to refer to 10. I don't know if 10,000 or 1,000 of a currency. Obviously also informal. These are not formal words. These are not words that you will hear in a formal meeting. That's for sure. Well, assuming people want to be professional, right? Which might not always be the case. Obviously, they are words that you won't find in a dictionary, or at least not an official dictionary. We'll have to look for a slang dictionary. Well, I guess that's the word I was looking for. It's slang. It's a slang word. Really? I think I died to the exact same spike. But yeah. Speaking of that, the gambling. So should I gamble those two games? See, the problem is that if I ask for ideas, I already know what you're gonna say. You're gonna say mirror or UFO. I know you will say that. That's why I don't ask you, because I don't wanna play either. That's the reason why I have to decide myself. Exactly, indeed. Yeah, you want the gamble to be between mirror and UFO. Yeah, I know that. I don't even need to ask. Yeah, Shrine Maiden. Yeah, another very good game to play, indeed. God damn it, dude. Surely a good idea. But you know, That's why I have to choose by myself. But that's also another problem. If I choose by myself, obviously it's not like you will give a shit, because it will be the same to you if it's one or the other. Doom was free. I mean, technically yes, you can just jump from the balcony and you will meet your Doom for free. You don't need to pay for that. That is true, but I would rather not do it if it's possible. I'm not about that. I mean, Doom is not legally free for what I understand. I mean, that's like saying... Wait, are you saying that Super Mario on the NES is not free? But I downloaded it with the emulator. Well, yeah, but it's not free. It doesn't work that way. Doom is such an old game, they aren't giving it out by now. I mean, the concept of abandonware doesn't really exist from a legal standpoint, I'm pretty sure. Like, even if a game is 30 years old and the company is nowhere to be seen, it's still technically not legal to acquire it by downloading it from an official webpage, obviously. It's just that nobody gives a fuck, and between those people, I am the one that doesn't give a fuck. So yeah. But that being said, Doom being on Steam, like that's the thing. When a game is on Steam and on a reasonable price, even if it's a game I could very easily obtain in some other way, I just want to get it legitimately. I'm pretty sure that every one of the classic Doom games is less than $1 here. When you get them all in a bundle, it's like $3 or something. I'm not sure exactly how much. But the point is that that's my idea. The classic ones. I'm not talking about the 2016 one or Doom Eternal. Talking about, as I mentioned before, Doom 1, 2, 3, and 64. And yeah, you have a bundle with those. And as I say, it's on Steam, and it's cheap. Too high. I wouldn't mind getting it. But yeah, regardless, let's do it like this, so that there is no doubt in my mind tomorrow. If I finish the stream before level 35, I'm gonna play Sonic tomorrow. Sonic 1, the Genesis game. Which is a horrible idea. But hey, guess it's better than nothing. And if I get 35 or more, it will be Castlevania 3. Ooh, that was close. That's my idea. Hey Colo, how is it going? Wait, unless someone has a better idea. Yeah, UFO and Mirror are not better ideas. But yeah. If someone has a better one, that will be the outcome. Pokemon Emerald? Nah. No, I feel that there are two, because that will be a long game to play, and it obviously wouldn't be enough to play it tomorrow. But I already have 2 games on my mind that I want to play relatively soon, which are Phantasy Star on the Switch or Half-Life 2. One of those 2. Ah, damn it. Fuck. Actually, not even sure if I'm supposed to jump from there or from the... Actually, I think I'm supposed to jump from the vine. Project Diva with a V? Yeah. No, but I mean, that's a bad idea, because that will be wasting a bet on Project Diva. Project Diva is a game I could play at any time. I don't need to bet myself to play it, because I will play it. And that's not a problem. What is Phantasy Star? I mean, I know that you don't know shit about video games, so it's not a surprise you never heard of it, but... basically one of the most important turn-based RPGs behind Final Fantasy, obviously, and Dragon Quest. Like, if you ignore Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy, Phantasy Star is probably the most important after that. And you could also say Pokemon, but I'm not counting Pokemon here, because Pokemon is more of a monster collecting game, more than a turn-based RPG. You're here for that? I'm glad. Mario RPG? No, that's not gonna happen. Hey, how is it going, Mr. Aldo? It's been so long since I seen you around here. How is everything going? Super Mario RPG. Interesting proposition you have. But yeah, no, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Before playing a game like that, I will have to play the other Mario games. You watch all the videos on YouTube? Really? That's pretty cool. I'm glad that at least my videos are doing stuff. Well, I mean, that's the point of the videos, that you can watch them at any point. Final Fantasy Questmon? Yeah, that's Shin Megami Tensei Blue. What you should say, Final Fantasy Questmon, yeah, it's called Shin Megami Tensei. Which I guess I kinda forgot. Like, if we're talking about important RPG games, that one is definitely up there too. It's just that it will be hard to compare the relevancy of both in terms of how much they inspire other games, though. Isn't that the game where the fans hate Persona? Yeah, but that's because Persona is a spin-off that pretty much became the main series. So yeah. I mean, imagine, for example, what spin-off I can think of. Okay, I get it. Imagine Pokemon Snap, which is a spin-off about taking pictures to Pokemon. Imagine if Pokemon Snap became the main line of Pokemon games. Don't you think that Pokemon fans will be pissed? Obviously, that would imply that Pokemon Snap has their own fan base separated from regular Pokemon, which it obviously doesn't. But imagine if that was the case. Unless we bring out the sales, it's kinda hard to measure the top 3 RPG. Final Fantasy, yeah, Dragon Quest definitely, but third? I mean, it also depends on what you include as an RPG. Because if we're talking about only turn-based RPG, obviously we lower the incidence rate. But even then, yeah, I guess it will depend. It's either Kingdom Hearts Drunk Soul or the Megami Tensei. Well, no, but that's the thing. If we're talking about turn-based RPG, obviously Dark Souls doesn't go there, and neither those Kingdom Hearts. So yeah, it will have to be Shin Megami Tensei, and that's basically what I expected. It's just that I somehow forgot about it before mentioning it. But yeah, Shin Megami Tensei is an RPG top 3 is pretty easy. Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Arceus, and Pokemon Heart Gold. Hey, I cannot really hear you too much with that shitty cock in your mouth. Find it pretty hard to hear you, but will you take it off? It's slightly hard to understand. In the list, Final Fantasy Star scored place 21. Yeah, but I don't think I say that purely from a sales perspective, but also from a more what's the word? Like a more influential side. So I think that Phantasy Star was quite influential. At least back then. It's not anymore because it's a dead saga, just like most Sega franchises. But yeah, the point is that I think back when it was more popular, it was definitely quite influential. Probably. Maybe. I think that's how it works. But yeah, I want to play that at some point. I mean, mostly because I have the Sega Ages version. If it wasn't for the Sega Ages version, I probably wouldn't be that excited about it. I mean, after all, games like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, I wouldn't want to play them precisely because I know that they are games that, by today's standards, will be very rough to play them. But yeah, with Phantasy Star, that port of Phantasy Star adds a lot of stuff that obviously wasn't in the original game, but it makes it more pleasant to play, you know? So yeah. Well, pleasant to play, at least for me. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will prefer having a more original experience. Original as in close to the original. You know. When it comes to turn-based RPGs, I'm basically not very concerned about getting the original experience. Unless it's Pokemon. But yeah, Pokemon is just a different thing. As I said, it's more of a monster collecting game than it is a turn-based RPG. The turn-based RPG aspect is more of an excuse to use those Pokemons. See, it's like Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact has combat, but the combat is pretty much there as an excuse to use your characters. The main appeal of Genshin Impact is just having those characters. You know, seeing them move and all that shit. The combat is an afterthought. At least it's relatively decent though. It's functional. It does what it wants to do. But yeah. You have to disagree. It's okay. Amber upskirt in part? Bro, Amber doesn't have a skirt. What upskirt are you talking about? Are you stoned? Like, of all the characters you could possibly pick, you pick the one that uses shorts. Very well done. How is monster collecting game a category? I mean, because there are multiple of them. It is, I mean, yes, it is a turn-based RPG, but the main focus is the monster collecting. You know? It's the main appeal of the game. I think she had red-brown hair and looked plain. Hey, those are fighting words here. You cannot say that. Come on. Hey, you need to use Noelle more. I mean Noelle. No, you need to use Amber more, so Kyle doesn't confuse it. Fate stay words. Okay, is the skirt in the room with us? I think he meant to say Noelle. That's the funny thing. He meant to say Noelle, but he didn't. Rookie mistake. Then I agree. No, I mean, I know that what you say that Star Rail is an afterthought, but the point is that, I mean, obviously Genshin has way better gameplay than the almost non-existent gameplay of Star Rail. Yeah, no doubt about it. But I'm just saying that the gameplay is most of an excuse to actually use your characters. Because the main thing is having the characters you like. Urina Klee and Mona. Interesting assortment of characters. In Star Rail, you should watch your character fights and walk around and listen to your characters talk. I mean, you also do that in Genshin. That champ is fucked up. Yeah, it's like Pokemon. But instead of collecting monsters, you collect bitches. That's the point of MiHoYo games. Indeed. Pimpmon. Yeah, that is the case. Well, actually, no. There is an actual game that is Pimpmon. And it's called Sakura Dungeon. That game that is banned on Twitch. That is pretty much Pimpmon. Yeah, best Sakura game. I haven't played Star Rail in a while, but that's the best MiHoYo game after Honkai 3rd. Surely it is. You can even use them in Star Rail. You just walk around and then watch them fight. Genshin mocks them both, of course. That is indeed pretty clear, but it's okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about Colo. It's like that part in the Bible that Jesus says, Lord, forgive them, they don't know what they are doing. Well, same applies here. You know? See, Colo is already talking about finest dick, so you know that he already got mind broken. I already feel myself out to quit Star Rail again. I mean, I don't know why you played it again in the first place. Well, and speaking of sucking the finest dick, Yami appeared. How is it going? Indeed, perfect timing for what Colo was exemplifying. Anyways, point is that, yeah, fuck Star Rail. Huh. See, remember back at what I said the other day. Remember when I say that my viewers don't like each other? It's for things like this. My viewers hate each other guts. It's just what it is. They really, really dislike each other a lot. So yeah, it is what it is. And the races suck you back in. I still don't know why you say that she's like Xiangling. She's not even similar to Xiangling. Xiangling doesn't use RNG either. Zelda has a chance. Well, Yami also likes Zelda. It's just that I don't know if he likes... Like, see, I don't think Yami will agree with the phrase Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is the greatest game ever made. Yami wouldn't agree with that. So yeah. I will take a Genshin over a Pokemon Scarlet? Well, yeah, obviously. And he knows shit. See, that's what I mean. The hostility between viewers. It's just crazy. It's something else. They just cannot agree on anything. I think the closest that I seen my viewers agree with each other is Yannick and Clonecat. I think that's the closest I seen. Everyone else just thinks completely differently. Leave the multi-billionaire dollar company alone. I agree. She's a 4-star who is very strong. You get her for free after completing a low floor of the game's abyss. And her stronger constellation is C4. I see. Yeah, I guess I can understand that. But yeah. What I cannot understand is how you still haven't tried Blaze Blue. Mr. Blue. It even has your name in the title and you still haven't tried it online with Kael. Alright, yeah. Check how he's gonna leave it for the next time. Indeed. God damn it. I mean, come on. You both gotta do it, bro. It will be a shame if I wasn't home. I don't know if you are or not. But yeah. Seems that I have to test it with blue. Like at the end of the day, probably gonna grab a random day that I'm not even streaming. I will just tell him to come to my lobby. Zelda ends after Majora's Mask and maybe Wind Waker, but I appreciate Breath of the Wild influence, just like how there are only 150 or 151 Pokemon. Well, that depends. Do you consider Mew a Pokemon, Yami? Is Mew a Pokemon for you? Because if it is, then it's 151. If you don't, it's 150. It's not even lunch. Come on, bro. Yeah, like Kyle is ready. Yeah, he is home. He's just a stoner. Come on. Heaven or Hell, Duel 1, let's rock. Wait, no, that's the wrong game. This one is The Wheel of Fate is Turning. But yeah, get into it. Also, try to pick a character, Kyle, that you suck at. Because, you know, like Blue just started. Like, try to go easy on him. Like, I don't know, pick... pick Kokonoe. Well, Kokonoe is ironically very broken, but not if you don't know how to use her. Wind Waker is up high in the top, but Tears of the Kingdom is simply the best game of all time. Yeah. Surely it is. God damn it, dude. Pretty funny people we have here. Blue can use stylish and mash buttons. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just dominate me. I mean, in a game like BlazBlue, it's easy to dominate, but only if you know to use the character that you're using. 151, I guess. Last time I say this, you call me a gooner. No. I call you again, Wooner. And I will call you that whether you say 150 or 151. That is again Wooner behavior indeed. Fuck. If I was a little bit more to the left, that would have been it. How long have I been in this fucking checkpoint, by the way? I wonder. Holy shit. Damn nice, okay, wow. I don't know how long I've been into it, but finally, holy fucking shit. It's been some time. I wonder what happens if we both hit rank. Just create a room. Make it easier. I mean, you can try rank later, but the point is testing the connection. But yeah, leave rank for later. Just test the connection. See if it goes well. Room is up. Well, there you have it. I'm pretty sure that you have to probably put any settings to find a room in any. So you can find, well, any room that is there, obviously. That's kinda the point. I'm pretty sure that the Gunnar just means someone that, you know, it's just someone that well, this is a family-friendly stream. I'm just kidding. Isn't it like a synonym with Coomer or whatever? I don't know, I don't keep up with internet words because I think they are garbage and not worth using. But aren't they the same shit or something? You won't put it here? It's fine. Blue, redeem the button. Sar. Redeem the player match. So I really wonder how the term Genwooner got in existence. So I understand that it's supposed to mock Generation 1. But yeah, why Wooner? I mean, it sounds similar enough to one. I wouldn't say it sounds that similar, you know? Oh, that was too high. Him. Everything after this looks so fucked up, dude. And keep in mind this is a 50 floor game. I'm only on floor 29. They really messed up the difficulty ratings. This game should be considered a 60 minimum. Minimum a 60 of difficulty. That's already being quite generous. It's not like it's bad that it's a 60. I'm surprised that it's so... well, it's relatively far, but the point is that it should be a lot closer to 60, and it's not. But hey, it's okay. I fucked up. We're supposed to hold the button because it's a stupid ass bind. Though, at least, see, here's the thing. My excuse about binds doesn't really hold up here. Because, for example, the previous checkpoint, the one before this one, didn't have a single bind and it took me like half an hour to beat it. So this is not really about binds. This is just about this game being hard, and that's it. It's a hard game, and I came into it not expecting a hard game. How was the connection? Wait, why are you asking him how was the connection? Weren't you there? Or did you make Kyle play against himself? It was playable, not too comfortable, but playable. How similar was it to ours, Kyle? Because my connection with Kyle is relatively decent, but you can still feel that there is a slight bit of delay. You don't know what's good or not? I mean, just put a match against the CPU in Versus or some shit. I can combo your ass, but not his? Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be an issue. I guess we will just have to see how it ends up being. You block. I mean, that's the thing. When it comes to BlazBlue, the only game with a playable connection is Central Fiction. Just that Kyle doesn't have Central Fiction, so since he doesn't have Central Fiction, you could play it against me. Well, actually, you could play it against other people too, since it's the only BlazBlue game that has a little bit of activity. But yeah, that's the one to play if you want to play online. Oof. What's this? Maybe I was supposed to double champ into it instead of single champ. Want to test it, I don't really have any room here to do it. Like, these are 3 blocks, like in the 4th one. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's not possible. So I should have double champ and then somehow gotten up there in a single bounce of the vine. Okay. Well, would have been better to analyze that there. It's now getting another shot might take a while. Buy it for me with the Gabi dollars. Yeah, the sale ended. That's the thing. Central Fiction is the most expensive of the 4. I got Calamity Trigger for like $50. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the only playable one. So I'm trying to think, what do you have aside from Street Fighter 5? Do you have any other? Oh, well, you have Type Lumina actually. I remember that. You have Type Lumina. Just that I need to update Type Lumina. But yeah, Kyle obviously doesn't have Type Lumina. I could buy 12 mirrors. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Or am I really supposed to do it? I mean, these are 4 blocks. I'm pretty sure they are. I don't think I can hit the side of a 4th block with a single champ, right? Doesn't seem possible. Like, if it is possible, it's like pixel perfect or something. But, or maybe not pixel perfect, but extremely hard. You pick the Gamba character. Litchi is the character that plays Mahjong. Yes, it's the one that I initially told you about. She doesn't really have any RNG elements as far as I know. But yeah, she's the Mahjong player. I wouldn't say she's super complex to use, but I mean, it's more complex than a character like Ragna, obviously. But you can say that about like 2/3 of the cast or more. Basically, she has 2 stances, one with the pole and the other one without the pole, and her moveset changes accordingly. I fucked up. Hold up. That's gonna be super hard. I'm thinking to myself that maybe I should do a single champion to it, but I mean, the punishment for failing that is hitting the spike that is hanging there. Anyways, I was about to say, yeah, the game plan of Litchi is to exert pressure with the pole and keep hitting the character while the pole is hitting them to try to open them up. Friend Tyrone offered me a copy of Melty, but I refuse. Well, I mean, I personally also don't like to accept free. Oh, hold up. Okay, so it is possible to do that. So you can do a single jump into the vine and then jump off it and double jump to the... I mean, I fucked up the double jump, but it is possible to do that. So yeah, the double jump doesn't seem super easy either, so... Okay. And what is this? Okay. It's so messed up because there are so many hard things in the whole checkpoint, you know? Like that end is part of it. That's a hard end. So yeah. What can I do? Shin called blue a textbook definition of reckless. Why are you picking Shin? Come on, bro. You need to go easier on him. Come on, pick someone that is harder to use. Shin is not hard enough to use. Just, as I say, pick Kokonoe. Pick Kokonoe and see what you can do. It won't be a challenge. I mean, if you pick stylish mode, you could be a challenge. You know, as long as you apply fighting game basics. You pick her and did better than with Shin? Really? Interesting. It happens. I don't know what to tell you. I do know what to tell Blue. To speak stylish mode and think about the game like you're playing Type Lumina. Just think that you're playing Type Lumina with auto combos. Pick stylish mode. And that's it. The character choice should be irrelevant. Well, unless you pick someone like Tager, I guess. But yeah. Well, Tager or maybe even Hakumen. I guess I got relatively lucky these attempts where I was able to do that. Maybe it's not that lucky, but it is hard to get. Like, you can barely hit that. It's a little bit annoying. Also, Colo, if you are there, let me know when, if the guys are there for Ragnarok. Because differently from yesterday, I obviously am not finishing this game today. So, yeah. Basically can stop at any time that it wouldn't make any difference. It's fucked up, dude. There's only 21 stages to go here. Only 21 stages. It will be interesting to like try to beat this game in like a stream marathon of like 10 hours or something. I mean, I finally got it. It will be a very dumb idea, but like, it will be interesting from a streaming standpoint. It will be quite cool. I knew this character was coming eventually. Which character? Oh, he picked Platinum? Oh, he picked Platinum. Nice. You random picked it. Beautiful. It's just the game telling you what you need to use. The game knows that she has to be your main. That's a blue character if I ever seen one, indeed. Yeah. I mean, I will tell you to pick Noelle, but the problem is that Noelle in Chrono Phantasma fucking sucks. If this was Continuum Shift, I will definitely tell you to pick Noelle, but yeah. She got nerfed quite hard, so I can no longer recommend it. So yeah, do not. The question is if I will be able to beat this screen. Like, at least I think it will be very fitting if I'm able to beat this screen. And if at some point I think of picking this game back up, I will start from another section instead of this one. Now, like, see, that's the thing. I know that I'm not super used to Needle, but how can you have a champ like this and not think that this game is at least 60 points of difficulty? Like, this shit is not easy. I don't know what the people at Delicious Fruit were smoking, but this is not like a 50-point champ. It's more than that. Look at this shit. Like, were they stoned when they voted for the difficulty of this game or what? Yeah, sure, I got it there, but that doesn't matter. How good I am is irrelevant. I'm just kidding, but the point is that that's not an easy champ. Like, I got it super fast there the same way that I could take half an hour to get it. Like, to me, those type of champs are RNG champs. Like, I know how to do them, but actually doing them takes a lot. Almost. I feel like if I had gone higher, I would have gotten killed by the spike. At least I think I can actually beat this one. I guess this means that I need to play Sonic 1 tomorrow. I say that it will be Sonic 1 if it was less than 35. And yeah, unless the next section is extremely easy somehow, I'm definitely not gonna get to 35 today. So yeah. I guess Sonic will happen tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. Have to probably rewatch a little bit of my run to see how I did that. How I was able to beat it with all Chaos Emeralds will probably be very useful. I'm also not sure how long it takes to beat Sonic 1. Like, how long you take to get a single run. I think it's probably an hour. But actually I have it in like my main YouTube page, so I could just check how much a run lasts. No, an hour and a half, that's a problem. An hour and a half for a single run? That's trouble. Fuck me. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good idea, actually. Well, not like I need to play it for the entirety of the stream either. But yeah. The promise has been casted. But yeah, it's not like I will have much of an alternative anyways. I am measuring about 200 milliseconds of brain delay. Yeah, that's an interesting delay. I mean, that on rollback wouldn't be a problem, but yeah. Wait, it really feels great on your end? So I guess maybe it's because you're not that used to fighting games. Because it's like, that's not something that applies to delay-based netcode. That's something that can happen in some badly implemented rollback, that one side feels great and the other one feels bad. I'm pretty sure that on delay, like, they either both feel good or they both feel bad. Ooh. Nice. We're at the desert now. I want to see the difficulty of this section, which is probably obviously gonna be higher than the previous one. I just want to see it on my own. Also, aren't these Super Mario blocks? Like Super Mario 3? Or maybe Super Mario World. Looks like it's from there. I don't know what feels bad. In Melty Blood, there are some bad matches. Anything that is over 50 is sus. Well, not really. I mean, with rollback 200 milliseconds is not bad. I mean, it obviously depends also on how constant the connection is, but I played a bunch of connections with 200 milliseconds on rollback and they didn't feel bad. I think that 300 is already a lot though. Like 300 is the one that enters into bad territory. But on delay, obviously anything more than 100 milliseconds is bad. Yes. That is correct. But at least the song here is pretty cool. The platforming seems to be out of this world. Look at this shit. And then you have to do a bind into a diagonal into a double champ that gets into a half platform. You get here, then I'm assuming you go here, right? And but this is a nerf gate champ, I think. Then into this thing. This looks terrible. Like, there is absolutely no way I can somehow beat this game, dude. Yeah, I don't know. The people at Delicious Fruit are 100% stoned. That's for sure. This game should be considered way harder than it is. But yeah, whatever. At least we know, knowing is half the battle. Yeah, like, this is the sort of stuff that I should... Like, bind champ into diagonal into half a platform champ. Like, isn't that a little bit too much? Like, that feels like the kind of champ that will be a single checkpoint by itself. Unless I'm playing on a harder difficulty than I should. But I mean, I pick medium. I'm pretty sure I pick medium. But not to mention I have the bow on my hair. Too early, damn it. You're supposed to jump more around here, but with a small jump. Fuck. Everything before that was great, though. I think that it's just better that I leave this here, though. It is better that I leave it here. What? What happened there? I think I somehow landed on top of the half platform and then I fell. That was very weird. I think that this will indeed be something better left for some other time. I wish it could be better. Well, as I say, in this case it's basically a matter of at some point when it gets on sale again getting Central Fiction. Or if you really want to play a fighting game, that we play Type Lumina. So yeah, that is what is happening. I'm jumping above the half platform and somehow not dying to the spike above. Too late. I think that it's better to leave it here. I mean, I'm not reaching the level 35, so I guess that means that... just as I promised, tomorrow it will have to be the turn of playing Sonic 1. I will have to, it is just the way it is. A promise has been made, and now without a doubt tomorrow it will be time for Sonic 1. So yeah, thanks everyone a lot for watching, and I'll be seeing you on the next stream. So have a good one and take care.